Hi there, Beckie Belote here. I am a creative memories advisor from Newport News, Virginia. And if you just watched that little bloopy, I don't know what happened. So we're starting over, and I'm sorry if you already watched that part. But here I am today with something that I'm very passionate about, Simple Kits. Simple Kits is a newer product that Creative Memories started last year. And now they caught on very quickly last year. Now they're really on fire right now. Everybody wants them. And some of my most creative people want them, not because they can't be creative, but because sometimes you just don't want to think about it, right? Sometimes I would just like to do a double page spread and be done with it and it be beautiful. And that's what Simple Kits does. But these are designed for beginners. So it doesn't matter how advanced you are, from beginner to super advanced, you're going to really like these. Um, so, anyways, I'm going to show you how to do a simple kit today. But even if you think you know how to do a simple kit, you may want to watch, because what I'm going to show you is that in every simple kit, there's an idea sheet. And this idea sheet is to be saved. In fact, I recommend, I don't know what I did with my binder. I had a binder. Oh, here it is. I recommend that you get our binder. And if you get our binder, it has all of these little tabbed sections for you to store things. And, like for instance, project recipes that you may get from your advisor, project playbooks, which you may get when you buy products. There's different categories. And this particular one would be simple kit ideas. And so you would probably want to make your own little tab for that and put it on creative extras, or just put them back there. Maybe not even change the tab, but you can always add extras. So that's why I recommend you store these for my clients that actually have been doing simple kits for 2 years. And I never told you to save these until now. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I learned from my peers and my own amazing team. Thank you, Connie Skaggs. Thank you, Mandy and Melissa. We do these little groups together. You don't have to know everything to be an advisor. We work together, and they actually made me fall even more in love with this product. And so I'm going to show you why. So the reason, just so that I hope that you'll continue watching, I'm working in my personal scrapbook today. All right. I am showing you that these are beautiful, and so beautiful that I am going to do this in front of you. My next pages that I wanted to do to show you how easy this is. In fact, this whole album, I'm going to dedicate to doing it this way because it is so fast. And I realized I was on Thanksgiving, so I'm a little bit behind, which is not typical for me. So, anyways, this is a great way to get it done. And I hope that you will feel so encouraged that you can do this and you can do it fast. So again, I want you to save these, because I'm going to do two double page spreads today. I'm going to do one using the stuff that came in the kit, and then I'm going to do one with things that didn't come in the kit, using this pattern. So it's like a pattern. It's kind of like when you were a kid. My mom didn't sew. However, I did have friends whose moms had a sewing machine, and they actually sewed, and they'd go by these patterns. And then the kids would get to go pick what color they want the dress to be. And they could use that same pattern over and over just by changing the fabric. And that's what we're doing with Simple Kits. That's why I want you to save this, because this can be done over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to teach you what I mean by that. And I hope that you will watch. If this gets too long, just fast forward me, and then you'll get the same benefit. But I'm going to do two double page spreads right before your eyes using this strategy. Okay, so let me show you what comes in, and then hopefully we will not have any kind of weird things happen like on just a few minutes ago. All right, so this is the idea sheet that I'm talking about. In your kit, you get this, you get some coordinating stickers, you'll get two base pages. All right, so they're decorative. You can really lay them any way you want. The idea sheet does give you a suggestion, but there is no right way to lay these out or the elements on. In fact, if you don't like the pattern part, you can make it more tonal by flipping them over. Okay. So that's part of it. Then you'll have this weird sheet that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, this is pretty, but it's kind of weird. When you flip it over, you'll see why. These are kind of like paint by number. So this is like scrapbook by number. And this sheet tells you where to put everything. Okay. It tells you how big to cut your photos and everything. All right. So the very first thing I want you to do before you work on this is I want you to take your printed sheets and measure the colored parts. So I want to know how big this is. Well, we know it's 12 inches and I know it's by 4, 12 by 4. So right on my piece of paper, I wrote to measure. This is 8 by 2. And I'm going to document that. But the green ones are 8 by 2. All right. So that's what you want to know before you start working. Then after we cut this up, we're also going to put the dimensions on this grid for how big these pieces were. So let me grab my trimmer. You are going to want our trimmer for this. And the reason why you are is for some of this, it doesn't matter, but we want to be exactly on the line. I don't want some of this orange on the blue and vice versa. I don't want some of this tan here. So it's very important that when we cut on the lines, we're cutting on the lines. We're cutting exactly on the lines. And this trimmer is very conducive to that. When I close it up, I can see that line down the middle, and we have these little whiskers that you can pull down. It's a little clear plastic thing that has a black whisker on it. And you can scoot that so that black whisker appears. It is going straight over that line underneath. All right, so that is going to be important for these pieces of paper. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to go over here and do it here. These things are at both ends. I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to show you that there's one down here too. All right. So that's beautiful. Now I'm going to cut the horizontal ones this way. So if you don't have our trimmer, this trimmer does so much. This is just one of the very many things that I feel like is pretty unique to our trimmer. I just love it, love it, love it. Never had one quite as good as this. But as far as making sure you're cutting exactly where you intend, there's nothing like this guy. Plus, it cuts like butter, right? Who likes our trimmers? Wish I could hear you because I would hear unanimous applause. All right, so let's go and do this one also. And then what we're going to do is we're going to measure. I think that all of these are going to be, a lot of these are going to be 4 by 6s. Of course, these two are. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm pretty confident all of these are the same. I'm going to grab these that look like they're the same size and see if they really are. Yeah, they are. And these are all, I'm going to put them on the board, 4 by 6, just as I thought. So we're going to write that these are all 4 by 6. All right. And this one right here is 4 by 6. All right. And then these small ones. So you're probably thinking, oh, she's done this before. Not on this one. This is my first time doing it. This is 3 by 4. That's piece number 7. Piece number 8 may be the same. Yes, also 3 by 4. All right, what about those strips? Let's see how big those are. Those are 1 by 12. All right. And then when we're done with this, we're going to put it in our binder. We're going to go ahead and 3-hole punch it, throw it in our binder so that we can use this over and over. But today I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to do it again using the pattern. Okay. So let's grab, I'm going to go ahead and put this over here for me to grab. I'm going to grab my album. And I am going to start here. All right, so I had just a few photos left from that event, and then I have a nice amount here. This particular, I've already pre-pulled them. I knew how many photos that the project was calling for. It was calling for five over here, and it was calling for five over here. I noticed that three on each side had to have some trimming room. In other words, they want us to cut them down to 3.5 by 3.5. So I needed some cutting room. So when I picked my pictures, I was thoughtful of that. You can always vary that as well. I'm going to actually lay this out the exact same way as they are suggesting in the picture. Since we are doing this live and I don't want to experiment and in front of you make a mistake. Actually, you can't make a mistake. You can put these anywhere you want, really, but I'm just going to do it just so that you can see how they're suggesting. So they're suggesting this. They also are suggesting in the picture, it's all in the picture. I'm not bringing this up. They're suggesting that we plop, put it there, that we put this guy, this strip, looks like they're putting it here actually. Huh. I didn't put it the way they had it. It would be pretty that way though. Wait. Huh. Yeah, I did. This is interesting. This is down. Oh, I see. I see. Just got it backwards. And again, I shouldn't have made so much deal about this, but I just want you to be able to use the picture. Okay, so that's the way the picture goes. All right, and then in the picture, they want this here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that there. And I will put it. It's hard to say. I think they're just putting it adjacent to that. All right, I'm gonna grab my other one. Put these over here. One, two, three, four. My other one, they're gonna put here. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this piece of paper down. Wonder if I have a regular adhesive in here. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be rude and I'm gonna walk over here and grab a regular tape runner refill. Because if you use your repo on everything, it's not very economical. All right. And in this case, I really want this to be stuck down. I don't want it to flap around until I get the page protectors on it. And in order for me to, repos becomes permanent over time. So it becomes more and more strong. But when I first put it down, it's not so strong. It gets stronger. So, and the idea is because you can reposition it. I want this to be down and not moving around when I flip the pages. All right. So there are times where you do want just regular old adhesive and it will save you money to do it that way. If this was repo, I would put it all over the place to get it to stick at first. And it doesn't really need it, but you'll feel like it does because it does move around. All right. So these are left side, these are right side, these are okay. All right. So now they also recommended, they gave me a sticker strip. And on the picture, they are recommending to stick this pretty guy, and I love this sticker strip. Gonna pull this off. They're recommending to put this on. Sometimes it's smart to wait until the end to put these down. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm pretty confident that this is gonna work because I've already looked at the dimensions that they want these photos cut into, and I feel very confident this is gonna be perfect. All right, so I'm gonna pull this guy off. And I'm gonna put him here. Hope you like it already. I mean, it's so pretty already, isn't it? Okay, now next. Now they want us to cut 3 photos in 3.5 by 3.5. All right, so I do have those. The one that I am not going to cut is this one. This one, they're saying it will make a great horizontal. And they're saying that we can put this mat under it. Oh yeah, we are going to cut these. We're going to cut it just a smidgen. And I would recommend this trimmer for cutting your photos. It's really going to be easy for measurements. It says in here that this photo needs to be 5.5 by 3.5. So they're 4 by 6. 4 by 6. And if it's calling for 5.5 by 3.5, we have to lose a half an inch from both sides. I will tell you right now, a half an inch is not very much. And I see that I have more wiggle room on this side than I do on this side. So I'm going to just go ahead and slide that to the 5.5 spot and see that there's nothing here that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to cut that off. And you can see here we have a lot of space here to lose a half an inch. So we're going to go to the 4. Remember, it needs to be 3.5. So I'm going to slide it to the 3.5 bar. That would be 2 railroad tracks. And you can see that I've lost nothing now. Now this guy is going to fit perfectly to this mat. Beautiful. All right. And we have another mat to go on this side that I think I'm going to make a journal box out of. So I'm going to actually get a piece of paper and put it on top of there so that I can do a journal box because I do not have the fifth photo for this page. All right. And then they called for this little, now this is a journal box for the other side, which is actually very good because no. All right. Well, there was another piece that I have clearly just, oh, here it is. And this one, what I would probably do is use that for a base for some embellishments, whatever embellishments I decide. Okay. This is kind of an oddball page. It just had a few photos left, but they were meaningful. So I wanted to keep them, even though it was a few. Now, the other 3, they're saying to cut down 3.5 by 3.5. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm going to focus on getting rid. This is my daughter here. This is the side of somebody. She's talking to people that I do not know. So she is salvageable. So instead of it being 6, I want it to be at 3.5. I'm going to go to 3.5 and see who's going to be cut off. My daughter. Not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it over so that I have maximized what I want in the picture on this side. All right. So I'm losing this side of a person. All right. And now I'm going to go the other way and go to 3.5, and we should be good now. All right. So what's really cool is I still can see the water. I still can see somebody's humongous boat over there. And all of my 3 focal people are still in the picture. All right. Now I am going to cut a little bit. I need to be 3.5 this way as well. Now it was 4. So all I need is to lose a 1/4 inch from each side. So I'm going to go to 4. 1 railroad track is a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off the bottom. I'm going to show you what I lost. I want you to see how big that is. See how small it is? And you see I lost nothing. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. So if you like both sides pretty good, just take a 1/4 inch off each side instead of the whole 1/2 inch. All right, so that one's going to be good. That's going to fit beautifully right there. And it looks like it's matted because of this pre-cut paper. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on this one. All right, so for 3.5, I clearly can use, I can lose this side. I'm going to go ahead and do 3.5 here. I lost nothing. This is nothing. All right, and then I need to make 3.5 this side. I'm going to go to the tops of their heads here. And then I'm going to go to 3.5 here and see that I still have, look, this is what I'm losing here. My brother-in-law's not going to be happy that I got his bald head like that. Luckily, his wife is not a scrapbooker, so probably never see it. Now, let me show you something. All right, this is my son-in-law and his mama, and I love her dearly. But she and my son-in-law are already in this photograph. So this side now is salvageable. So I'm going to cut off all that I can right up to the girl that was sideways in the other. And luckily, actually, I'm going to go a little bit more, just a slither. All right, that's 3.5. So I got everything that I wanted. And then I probably am going to cut off a little bit down here. No, I'm not. It's going to cut off her feet. All right, so 3.5. We're just going to lose a half inch. All right. Okay, so that takes care of that. So I hope I hope this is kind of giving you some feel um, for using that trimmer in a quick way to get pictures to fit in spaces. All right, so I'm going to throw these down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick these in too. I like it. This one, we're going to add a journal box on top of it. Just some lined paper would be nice. Have y'all ever tried our lined paper? It's cut like that, and you just cut it to the size that you want. And then this will put some kind of embellishment on it when I'm ready. All right, so this starts Thanksgiving. So this was towards the end of Thanksgiving. This starts Thanksgiving, and I have oodles of pictures for this. In the diagram, they're calling for 2 verticals and some that can be trimmed up a lot. This one can't be trimmed up a lot. I know that this one definitely can. This one definitely can. I'll probably do these trimmed up a lot, and then I will leave these the way they are. And we're going to use these big ones for these, and we just need to lose a half an inch off each side. Same thing as before. So for this one, very easy to cut off a half inch here. So I'm going to put it, instead of 6, I'm going to put it at 5.5. I lose nothing. All right. And then we got to go the other way too. I probably actually am going to take a 1/4 inch off each side. So we need to lose a half. We need this to be at 4.5. I mean, let's see, this is, we need it to be 3.5. So if I take a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here, that'll put me at 3.5. And I don't have to take a big chunk off either side, just a smidgen off each side. All right. And we're going to go ahead and stick these down. They do give you a suggestion of how to angle them and stuff like that if that challenges you. But remember, oops, I forgot to do this one. All right. I'm going to try to get some of that adhesive off. I am using Repo, thank goodness. Repo rolls right off. It's what I'm rolling off now. All right, I forgot to trim it. I'm going to lose it here. I'm going to lose all of it there. So 5.5, big ton of none right there, big ton of none. And then because my other husband, my next door neighbor who helps me with my business, he's not even there. It's just a piece of his face. He's totally missing. He's going. So I need this to be 3.5. And I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna take it all from this side. All right. What I'll do is maybe not all. I think I'm gonna do it right there. And I'm not going to worry that it's not exactly that, and you'll see what's going to happen. So when I go to put it on the mat, see how this one is perfect all the way around. This one, when I put it down, because I didn't cut the full amount off, we're going to have a little bit of narrowness on the sides, a little bit more narrow, and I don't care. I would rather do that than cut off my brother's ear or cut any more off of Holly. Okay, so I have it perfect here. All right. So don't be cutting people's appendages off. We can always alter the way we're laying out those pictures, or and using the mats and so forth. Don't fret over that. All right. Now these we're going to do 3.5 by 3.5. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut off as much as I can from the top here. In other words, I'm going to keep his head in. And no, his head's not being cut off, but I want this to be 3.5 by 3.5. So now I'm going to scoop that to the 3.5 bar. So we're losing legs, and I don't care. There's just such a cute little couple, aren't they? Hi, Julia. She probably doesn't watch either. Too young. All right, so we're going to cut a little bit off here, so right to the side, and then we will force this to the size. Okay, that one's done. All right, let's do this one. I think I'm going to cut this one this way. Let's see what will happen if I go straight to 3.5. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut all of that off. I'm going to leave some of the decorations, the wall art, because you change wall art. That's kind of a part of history. This one have lots to lose here. I'm going to go all the way to the little piggies. And then we need this to be 3.5. So we're going to go this way. Oh, good. This is going to be perfect. And what do I want to cut out? Let's see what happens if we go this way. Yeah, just a little bit of mirror. Get to keep this old antique wardrobe in the background. It's good if you can to leave things that have historical value in your pictures. All right, so let's go ahead and stick that down. These doesn't really matter the order, they're just pictures of my family. This one did not get trimmed the other direction. So we need this to be 3.5. And we are just going to cut it right there. All right. Here so that I like to do on these that you're supposed to center them in the space, to do the outside ones and then just put the other one in the middle. That way it doesn't have to be exact. All right. All right. That's good. And we do have another little journal box for this side that we're going to put right here. And since this is Thanksgiving and the other side is not, the other side has a story to tell. We're going to put the little journal box there and we're done. Okay. Hope you like this. Very, very simple, very, very beautiful. Now, what we're going to do it again with these photos right here. Okay. So, I'm going to teach you now how to use this pattern to do different looks in your book quickly. Okay. All right. So I have already pre-picked paper that I thought would look good. This is also from the Noteworthy collection. And I am going to cut this piece of paper in these dimensions. So I'm going to need this. I don't have to do it upside down because there's no lines on this one like the last one. But I know that we started with a couple of 1-inch strips, 1 inch, 1 inch. This will actually be faster. And then we have to cut a 4-inch strip. Nope, that is actually 6 across. I'm looking at how wide it is. That's my 6. Doesn't really matter because the other one's going to be 4. And then these we're going to turn sideways and make them 4x6s. 1, 2, 3. And then this other big script, we need one 4x6. So it's already 4 inches wide. Let's do a 6. It's already 4 inches wide. So we need to do a 3. And then we'll have the 2 3x4s. Okay. So that's my strips. All right. All right. So we could build on white and we could put these anywhere we want to. Um, I'm going to put a tonal in the background to make it even more eye-catching. Actually, I'm going to throw some regular adhesive on there instead of just the repo. Got carried away. That's why I usually use a repo, is because it makes me crazy to forget and use the wrong adhesive on that border that is going to need that repo. All right, but if you get in the habit of using them both, you will save your adhesive. All right. So now I'm going to show you how pretty this would be, even if I don't cut these extra strips. All right. So if I put them where they're well, actually, let's cut the photos. Let's cut the photos first. All right. So I had a plan with this. To this one, I was going to do this way. I think this can be a 3, a 3, 3. Huh. These can't be. This can. Oh, wonder if I lost a photo. Yeah, we're gonna do. Hmm. All right. Maybe I'll do my dessert. Okay. All right. So we're going to cut all of these for 3.5 by 3.5. All right. And I'm going to cut to their feet. And then I'm going to, ooh, I'm not, again, this is one of those that I am not going to do a true 3.5. It's almost. And then we're going to need to lose. And I'm going to cut, since his arm was not in the whole picture anyways, I'm going to trim a little bit off so that it's more like head, and maybe even a little bit more. So it's more like head and shoulders over here. And then we're going to force this side into 3.5. I don't mind cutting an arm off that's already cut off. I cut it off as the photographer. All right, so there's one. Let's see what we can do with this. 3.5. All right, and then 3.5. Oh yeah, this is perfect. All right. This is, I'm going to keep my brother. I think I'm going to try to keep both some. Brother brought a guest to Thanksgiving last year, and I think I will keep him in it. And I'm going to go to the top of his head and then see what I can lose over here to make it 3.5. Beautiful. All right, this one, I'm going to go over there to the side of my sister-in-law. And then we're going to rotate this up and force the 3.5. Perfect. I'm not losing anybody. These are just people that you can't even see what's going on. It wasn't the focus of the picture. And then 3.5 here loses nothing. So I'm going to just do it. All right, so that takes care of that. I must have some missing ones. All right, so there's my sweet Hokey dog. You all know that I lost my sweet Hokey at Christmas, right? His sister is still doing so well. She has realized she's an only child now, and I think she actually likes it. I never saw that coming. So you want to take just a slither off at each side here. Make it 3.5. All right, so that's that. And we have one more. All right, I am going to go way over here. Actually, I'm going to start at the top and trim to my brother's head. And then I'll see how much I have to lose down here. Yeah, perfect. All right, and then hopefully we can get all of it. Yes, this is just perfect. All right. All right, that worked really well. All right, so what they did, in other words, without cutting those strips here, the ones that we said were 4 by 12, I'm going to show you what it looks like if we don't cut those. All right, these were just candid shots, no order or sequence. Oh, that dessert. That was a creme brulee cheesecake. Oh my gosh, it was so good. All right. Now on the last one, as you recall, they put the photos like this. But I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna do it a little bit different because I can, right? All right. And then I'm gonna put these are horizontals. I'm gonna put them like this time. And then I have a vertical. So let's put some food in here. Let's do some food, baby. All right. So we've got that. All right. And then the pieces that I cut are over here. And I can use either side. I can use both sides if I want to. Oh, we got to still cut these down, don't we? We need to lose a 1/2 inch from both sides of these. Very simple. I think I'm going to lose the 1/2 inch on this end, make that 5.5. And I need to lose a 1/2 inch over here. I'm going to make this 3.5. Lost nothing. All right, this one, I'm going to go this way, 5.5. And I am going to lose it probably here. Oh yeah, first. All right, and then this one, not gonna cut Chris out this time. I'm gonna cut a little bit of Julia off. She's to the back, and we already have a beautiful picture of Julia. And I'm gonna cut as much as I can front right to Chris's head, and then see if I need to cut any more to make this 3.5. just a smidgen. All right. So there's that. Still, he's still holding his plate. Over here, I think I'm gonna cut trim here. My husband is the best cook ever. He's cooking our turkey there. He actually, what do you call it? When you drop it in the grease, deep fried turkey. All right. And then we're gonna, oh, it's raining outside. And we're gonna have to lose this side. 3.5. I don't want to cut any more of his head. So I'm just going to do that. All right. So you can do either side. I'm going to opt for the lighter color, I think, but you can do a mix and match. Like if you wanted some of both, some of the dark and some of the light, you could do that if you want to. Because now we have double-sided paper, whereas the other one had white on one side and then the actual kit that we use. But this actually gives us some more play if we're using our double-sided paper. Let's get these scraps out of the way. All right, so what I'm showing you is the same recipe. We're using different things down. It also called for these brown strips here. All right, and then your little journal cards. Like this would be a great place for an embellishment. And then we have a place for our journaling. What I am going to do to save space here, so I'm going to put this, since there's nothing really underneath there that I need to save, put those closer together to give us space for the journal box here. So this again, I'm going to cut a lined piece of paper and have room for the journaling there. And then I'll probably put an embellishment group there. All right. And that is about as simple as it gets, boys and girls. All right. If I wanted to add color, it like let's say I wanted this strip here, it's 8 by what did I write? 8 by 2. No, that's the little one. The fat one is 4 by 12. So I'm just gonna humor you and pick a piece of paper that I think will go with this. And I'm gonna cut 2 4 by 12 strips. I'm telling you, it doesn't need to be done. I'm telling you, this is really pretty just the way it is, but it's probably not really pretty to everybody. So I'm going to cut 2 4 by 12s because it depends on your personality as what is pretty to you. So we're going to do a 4 by 12. And we're going to stick those on here. Remember, the strategy is to put them on the ends. And one in the middle. All right. I do know that this is taking longer, but you guys, when I'm done, this is in my own scrapbook right now. This is my personal scrapbook. It's not a demo album. This is my scrapbook. And I have done 4 pages right in front of your eyes. So now we've added more color for those of you that like that. All right, now remember in the other kit, it also had a sticker border. Now I don't have a sticker border for this one, but I'll tell you what I'm going to use. I could grab my autumn leaf punch and put some leaves across it since it's Thanksgiving. I have the perfect embellishment for up here too. I think I'm going to kind of just tuck it up there. Look, this is noteworthy. And it's got all kinds of seasons and stuff in here. And we've got a pumpkin pie and we have a turkey. And I think I'm going to put a turkey on this page. Maybe pop it with a little foam square action. Maybe if I can find those. Left. Enough. Make it work. Got a big one and a couple small ones. I use the heck out of these, don't you all? I love giving it a little, and I'm just pulling the little backing off. They have these little pieces of backing that you have to pull off. I'm going to throw that up there. And I'm on purpose putting it to the side adds dimension if you don't necessarily put you just kind of let the different color put behind. So that's cool. Love it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stick this other sheet. And we and I know what the dimensions of this, it's 3 by 4. So when I go to do my journal box, I'll knock it down a little bit, like maybe 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, because I like to write a lot and I'm going to maximize what I can do with that. So I'm mimicking what I did on the other side. This in the middle. And I am on purpose am not going to add these strips, the 8 by 2s. Why? Because I okay, sorry about that. Ooh, I thought we were gonna have to start over again. I was gonna be mad. All right, so there. All right. I'm gonna tuck that under that border there. You know what? I'm gonna go with the straight on look. Oh yeah. That. Okay, so there we go. Another thing now, I tell you a line that I really like. It's called Wonderful Day, and they have really pretty neutral things like I could throw this sticker across the middle. That would be really nice. Another thing that Wonderful Day has in the neutrals that's going to go really good with Noteworthy is some little word sayings. Um, and the colors on this really are good for this particular layout. But these have like little word sayings. Happy everyone. That's what that one said. Happy every day. I'm sure I can find one, but I'm not going to waste your time. I'm after I'm off of here. Right. And I've got to be done soon because my battery is going dead. All right, but I want to go ahead and add a border using something in here. Will match. I think I'm going to go with a neutral. Oh yeah. Oh, I might not have two of those. I'll use this. Have two of those. All right. And you could add this to it. They're already like that. And that will give you a little bit something, something. All right. Do you like it? I'm not sticking it down because I don't want to run out of time. So my battery's going dead. Oh, so I hope that you like this. I hope that you get it, that you can get tons of looks. I could do oodles more of from the same layout. In fact, I did 5 layouts in the same album with the same project recipe, simple kit, the same simple kit. So they're beautiful. So I hope this helps you, and I hope it'll help you do fast pages, and you'll be super pleased with them. Right now, we have Simple Kit Bundle 1 that has 1, 2, and 3 in there. And we have Simple Kit Bundle 2 that has 4, 5, and 6. If you want just the project recipe, because the bundles come with some really cool file folders and stuff too, so they come with a little extra. If you just want the project recipes, you can get 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now. All right, they're $6 a piece. So thank you for watching. Check out the Hit the Road line that just came out. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching. If you need an advisor, I would sure love for you to pick me, shop with me. It makes my day when I see the orders. My link is www.creativememories.com/user/Beckie Belote. Thanks for watching. Bye.